The Evil Within, welcoming everyone back and soiling people's pants since 2014, I should believe. Welcome back, everyone. It's been a couple of days since the last time
Sebastian and Joseph. I dragged you into this. What have I done?
It's been a while since the last time we played the game. I have just been a bit busy, but decided to continue with my post-com sessions, and I guess here we are. I didn't plan much to say, but we'll pick it up as the game gives it to us. I guess that's the best way I can describe this section of the game. Later on it will get a bit, excuse my language, but it will get a bit shitty. But besides that, hopefully it's not going to be so terrible. But as I was saying, in the beginning you noticed that Kidman was, I believe this is the correct word to say, lamenting the fact that she got Joseph and Sebastian into this current predicament with Mobius, with the STEM system. She's not too happy. In the original story, in the original Evil Within, you got the sense that she was working for, or she had a secret agenda and didn't really care much about who got involved. She was just focusing on her goal. But I guess just like this particular DLC was supposed to do, or should I say these two DLCs, they were supposed to shed light on Kidman's story, shed light on things that were not clearly mentioned in the original game, and shed light on the characters, or should I say the people in the background, and how they manipulate the situation towards Mobius's goals, and overall how they interacted with Ruvik and within themselves. So it's quite interesting concept that Kidman wasn't actually as bad as she started out to be. Fair and fine, she had her goals and she was pursuing them and aiding Mobius, but in the end even she realized that some quote-unquote innocent people were involved that shouldn't have been involved, and Sebastian was actually a nice guy, like there was nothing wrong with him. And she kind of makes her sad that she takes this once broken man, Sebastian, lost his daughter in a tragic death, and his wife left him, and after this is put into this insane, crazy stricken world. It's an interesting thing. Splattering blood on the walls here. It felt good getting a gun. I really have to say it felt really empowering to get a gun. I don't know about the lack of upgrading yourself within this game. No matter how you look at it, Kidman is a very underpowered character as compared to Sebastian. With Sebastian you could do some really crazy things as you improved the stats of your character as you progressed into the game, and he was just all round much more stronger and dealt much more damage, and of course had much more equipment. But in this case, like, the best thing we're talking about right now is just one pistol, but for Sebastian that was like starting equipment. So I guess it's good. It puts the need of avoiding scrambles, avoiding confrontations, and puts the survival back in the survival horror, which is an interesting thing, but it kind of makes Kidman weak. If you look at it in a different point of view, I guess Sebastian does have more training, is much stronger, but
Shit!
I don't really know. At this particular point though, we finally get the final confrontation with this particular Seeker boss, and like I said, every confrontation with this beast is very, very scary for me personally. And this time they decided to put you in a very closed and very dark room, which really made things just a little bit tougher. You had to be careful with your line of sight, because if you are spotted by the light and the light turns red while you're in its area of effect, you are slowed down, you cannot act, and Kidman puts her hands in front of her eyes trying to turn away the light. which leads to very dangerous mix-ups with the monster. He can't just kill you. Of course, if he catches up to you, it's very difficult to run away, but it only needs 3 shots to kill. When I did that particular section, I was sweating. I could see many opportunities of death, and I could understand why many people could die.
Well, I hope he gets the message.
But that pretty much puts the seal on that. I don't know why I was moving around with no light, but brighten up the area here, pick up some things, pick up some ammunition, and see how things are going.
Kidman, are you in there?
Sebastian?
Kidman, it's me.
If you hadn't come along...
Save it for later. There are probably more of them around.
Sebastian? What is...
Stay back. She's my responsibility.
I'm sorry for putting you through this. I don't want to hurt you any more than I already have.
He might try to stop me through you.
A little hasty with that gun, kid. What is it you plan on doing?
What I have to do.
No! You do what we say. You will come back with that boy, or you will disappear.
And once again with another Mobius chase sequence. Interesting thing about that previous cutscene is that during the Evil Within, when you're playing as Sebastian, as you're losing control and walking towards Kidman, supposedly going to kill her, you would believe that with the way the cinematic was set up, that Kidman shot you to stop you. I guess this sheds more light on the fact that she actually never shot Sebastian, so... Interesting tidbit of information right there.
Joseph! Can't be.
This thing gonna run? Only one way to find out.
Shit!
What are you doing? Answer me.
Fuck this place.
Can you discern between evil and good?
No, no, no!
I don't think she tried hard enough to get that gun. I don't think, with the gravity of the situation, she did not at all try her best to get that gun. But what can be said, Kidman likes a little bit of drama in her life. This is now chapter 4. And a little bit of horror now kind of ensues. Now the stealth elements are back, and
I will not be kept here.
What's the... Maybe I can
without a
burn free.
gun, this is more, it brings you back to the fundamentals of the stealth mechanics that we're teaching you in the assignment DLC. And I do have to say it was difficult. I did struggle a few times, and at first I got lost. I didn't understand. I was like, burn. I was like, oh, okay, burn the painting. I was acting a little bit stupid at the time, forgive me for that, but there's this whole segment of the game that will revolve around, well, segment of this particular chapter that will revolve around burning Ruvik's portraits or paintings in order to progress, because somehow they've just blocked the way. I don't know. As a concept on its own, it doesn't seem so creative. I don't know. I think they could have done something a little bit more interesting than just burning paintings that are like locking the door. Cause I don't know, it just feels like playing just feels like playing Devil May Cry, for example, all over again, where you walk into a new section of the game.
No, don't risk it. Hold on. I think I see another way down. I'll meet you on a lower
It felt like
level.
Devil May Cry, where you just walk into a new section and there's a new challenge, and the door is locked with some barrier for no,
Stay
well,
out of my way.
the door's locked with the barrier until you do X and Y. And I understand those are ways to limit stage progression in a game. I understand that's how it works. Just restrictions and limitations are not just running past everything without accomplishing something.
After surviving the fire incident and subsequent abuse from his parents, it's a miracle Ruben can function at all. His work comes from a place that isn't motivated by fear or money or social standing. His motives are more pure. I would say that he is obsessed with the chance to relive and remold reality so he can be with her again. His scarring is heavy, both physically and emotionally, but he longs for his lost sister. His love for her borders almost on an incestuous level, but as long as it provides motivation, so be it.
More background information on Ruvik. Before we talk about that, just back on that one particular note, yes, fair and fine, it is stage progression within any particular level, but the way you do stage progression should be a little bit more creative as compared to door is locked until you kill 10 zombies. That to me just feels kind of boring. I personally don't like it, and I think it's the same thing with the paintings of Ruvik in this particular game design. The only way you can progress to the next part of the stage is if you burn the painting that's being blocked by 10 zombies, so you're forced into stealth. I guess you could just argue that it's Stem, it's Ruvik's mind, he can do whatever he wants to do, fair and fine, but I don't know, it's just not fun for me personally. Or maybe the design could have been done a little bit better, but this is where we're forced into it. And we get one dose of the Ruvik painting and stealth mechanic in play now. You will see me mess up, but I try my best to remedy the situation. And
Ruvik's trying to take control of him.
as you see,
Maybe I can stop him.
as you see what I do, we can talk more about the previous note that we got from Jimenez about Ruvik, should I say Ruben, surviving the fire. For those who don't remember, Ruben did have a sister during his life, of course, and as they were playing in a barn, I don't know why the people in the village decided to come burn down the barn, but they blocked, or should I say they locked the barn, and they locked Ruben and his sister inside, and they burnt them. Well, the goal was to burn them alive. And that being all said and done, Ruvik did survive, but the girl did not. The girl died in the fire, and Jimenez said this scarred Rubik or Ruben Ruvik emotionally and physically, of course. You can see by his damaged body. And what drove his desire, or should I say Ruben's desire for more knowledge, for more power, was the need, or should I say the desire to resurrect his long-lost sister. That's the one part of his mind, well, one part of his heart that still aches, is the loss of his sister, and he was doing anything possible to find a way to recreate her in his life again. And that's all said and done, and everyone has experienced some sort of loss, but Jimenez does say that his love for his sister ended up bordering towards an incestuous level. And if you don't understand what incestuous mean, it's just derived from the word incest, which means intimate love, I guess, amongst family, which I guess you can take it in any other. I won't shed my point of view on that, but you can take it however you want to take it. So the way Jimenez was saying it was that Ruvik was falling in love with his sister. It went beyond a friendship or a bond between brother and sister. It was now a bond between lovers, hence why Ruvik was so attached to his sister. And when she died, he felt, well, a part of him just vanished, or should I say, that's when the anger within him, or the evil within him, was revealed. Some interesting backstory as we exit this one cupboard here. But yeah, as I was saying, the 4 stealth sections are difficult. They're challenging. That's fine. That was the whole point of the assignment DLC. But I feel that the limitation on melee kills, for example, Sebastian within the original game had a knife. He could use this knife for whatever he saw fit. Let's see what I did here. You could use the knife for melee kills, and that was all fair and fine. But with Kidman, you pick up so many of these axes that are just one use, one stealth kill, and there is no reasoning behind it. At least if the weapon they were giving you for a stealth kill was some fragile weapon, and they designed it visually as a fragile weapon, then I would understand. But it's an axe, a hand axe, probably used for cutting trees, and you're telling me that smashing one zombie in the head with it is enough to break it? I doubt that's the case. Almost got spotted there. One good key thing about this game, or for me personally, having the opportunity, well, me personally always playing with a headset on, I guess it goes both ways. Even if you have decent speakers, when you have different audio channels that have decent, or should I say good quality audio, you can really hear the background sounds, the flames, the wavering of the flames, the movement of the particles in the air, the boy screaming in the background. You can also hear the monster breathing in the background. So many things you can hear. And as much as the stealth mechanics aren't as tight as I would want them to be, sometimes you get spotted through objects, which I don't like personally. At least the sound is good enough to give warning that something is near.
It works. Holy shit. Maybe I can stop Ruvik then.
And that was the first section of the paintings done. I don't know. This part of the... I felt that this DLC was starting off well.
Leslie! Leslie,
but
where are you?
This ending chapter for me just... or the beginning part of the chapter just didn't do it for me. The ending of the chapter was, I don't know, superb. Some of the artwork, as you can see, this is the first time seeing this all-seeing eye, and I guess more references to Mobius and how they they're in charge of this whole operation. Mobius sees all that's happening. I don't know why I left that trophy behind. Oh my goodness. But yeah, Mobius seeing everything that's occurring within the STEM system, being monitored, being controlled. And I think that's what they're just trying to make reference to with all these paintings and different imagery that they're throwing. Get a good save point in here. Watching myself failing on the save screen is quite sad, but happens from time to time. As you can see, there is something on, there's a tape on the disc.
I revisited the Victoriano estate yesterday. It's a vestige, a mere husk of what was bound to be such a home of promise. Mobius reaped nearly everything of value when we took on the research ourselves, but Rubin's notes indicate he was involved in something else. There were plans for another STEM prototype. Data about using receptors to transmit the brain function wirelessly to unaware users. It's borderline parapsychology, but these schematics and the scientific backup provided seems sound. What was he planning to do with such a thing? There's only one way to find out for certain, but I must continue these experiments in private, away from their prying eyes. I will not let them know, lest they take this from me as well.
Discoveries by Jimenez himself. Finds that Ruvik was trying to find a way to infest into other people's minds. I guess you see it as you play the game. You see him controlling all these people, even though these are events that are occurring in the STEM machine, his brain. But his whole point, or should I say one of his aims with the machine in general, was to find a way to influence and infest within other people's minds so as to control them. And like I said, that's the reason why Mobius took a great interest into the STEM project, as dominating people into submitting to everything you say, or should I say even controlling people to make them do everything you want them to do, is quite a powerful thing to have. And the question is, why would Ruvik want that? Who did he want to control, and for what reason? I personally don't believe it's as shallow as revenge for his sister. Like I said, the sounds really tell you a lot. I was not able to determine the location of the monsters, but just by the sound I knew they were very close and towards the other end of the room. Sound team really did a very, very good job in delivering sight through sound. You can see them feeding on a dead corpse here. You need to distract them and get the key card, that's the goal. That's why you get the bottle. And that went a little bit successful. Now what we have to do is head back to this particular area to clear the way. But clearing the way does produce a large amount of noise, hence why we took the second bottle. We need to make a quick distraction. Need to move really carefully here. Don't know why I was taking so long. Woo. Closest of calls. I believe they're supposed to be able to clip you in this corner. Maybe it could have been a glitch that I did not die at that particular portion because I'd alerted them, but I don't know. Maybe it's actually, that corner is actually structured in a way such that they can't actually kill you. But here I definitely almost died. Moving in very awkward ways. Now we've cleared that. Now this third section has a lot, and I do mean a lot, of blind spots that you can fall prey to. You really need to be careful about that. Let's see. Got lost for a bit here. Moving bottles on the floor, cans on the floor.
Fuck.
Huh? What was that about?
As you can see, the nonsense that occurred in this room, it's very interesting to see. That was the small locker / elevator thing that's used to deliver objects up and down a building that Sebastian used to escape from the lockerhead monster. But the thing is that when you actually do fight the monster in the original game, you find him in this cold, dark freezer room. Well, he chases you into a cold, dark freezer room, and you fight him within that freezer room while waiting for the elevator to come and save you. But as you noticed there, he was actually just stuck in a normal. When we walked into that room, all the shelves, all the produce was knocked down, the door was bashed, everything was just in a mess, which kind of shows you that, well, it's obvious by now, but most of the things that do occur in this game are through pure insanity. And what Sebastian was seeing, that lockerhead monster, was not actually reality. That did not exist. Instead, he was just running around fearing something that did not exist and just messing up a room, and he got himself stuck in that small little elevator. But it's interesting to see the game when it shows you the crazy parts and the supposedly sane parts, and then you can compare them yourself visually. Now, when you're stuck with nowhere to go, and when Ruvik sells you out like that, it's a good way to end a video. But there is more to be seen. Thanks for watching. See you soon.